Ladies and gentlemen, now in today's video, we're going to be checking out the brand new Black Widow side event, kind of walking through everything, the objectives, the red rooms, and also talking a little bit about the rifts as well, and the decision you have to make between kind of the guaranteed reward, or maybe not the guaranteed reward, and less dimensional rifts. But we'll talk about that, toward the end of the video as well. However, so this event is going to start like pretty much every single day in the special objectives, and it gives you kind of a vague hint as to who your target is to kind of assassinate or take out. So this one is codenamed Destroyer, aka Drax. So it gives you an idea of like where that champion is in terms of location. But you can fight that champion anywhere, bro. Like quest, arena, incursion, duel, and information on that champion is probably going to be available on stuff like the forums, Reddit, a lot of the line bots as well. So it's going to be very easy to figure out, and you can just ask in global chat or the YouTube comment section if you are a little bit puzzled, and I'm sure many people will be very, very happy to help you out. But again, day one is Drax, so you can even go into like the easiest possible difficulty here, and then Drax, I believe, is he's just like 3 opponents in. So if we go to him now, we just need to quickly one-shot a couple of fights in order to get to Drax here. But yeah, very straightforward, very easy. And again, if you don't have this quest already, you might need to quickly restart your game if you haven't reset it manually before, since the update. So obviously the new update did arrive, and with objectives, man, usually you have to force close if you want to see them. But also, one thing I did notice with the objectives is that it appears that they might like continually stack up if you do miss a day or two, because the Drax one is active for 35 days, so I think a new one's going to come in every single day. So doing this objective is going to give you the key card for the red room ops, which is what we're going to jump into next. But let's quickly take this Drax down and then complete that objective and move on to the next stage. So you can see, in terms of hassle, like, it's really not too difficult. It takes you like 30 seconds, a minute in order to get that key card. And you'll always have the option to find a dual target as well. So we've completed that objective now. So let's quickly quit out of this quest, and we're going to jump over to the red room ops. Now this is really, really important. If you are a semi-decent player, you always want to go for the highest possible difficulty, because you can only enter one of these with a key card. So you need to make sure that you go for epic, and at least from what I've heard so far, you always want to be going for epic every single day, because it gives you the most intel for completion. If we have a look at completing epic, it gives you just over 250 intel there, and the requirements for these rooms are only 2-star champions, so you want to bring just kind of your strongest, your best 2-star characters. I'm going to go for a bit of a mid-range setup of just ones available on the premium crystal, just to show you that is possible with all sorts of characters. So yeah, let's bring in, we got Colossus there, Storm, Thor, but ideally, if you do have some slightly rarer gold tier champions, bring those in. But if we have a look here, we've got like 3 adaptoids on each path, and then we've got Taskmaster. So it's up to you, depending on the class advantage, like which path exactly you'd like to go for. I think it really doesn't matter too much, but I might go for this mutant path here, and then the Taskmaster boss, to have a bit of a look. He has no nose, so he's a very straightforward, very basic fight. So Taskmaster is probably going to be the only fight that is a little bit of a problem, but again, it shouldn't be too bad to deal with, I reckon. So let's go for this adaptoid here. See what we can do to shred this man down. A little bit of guillotine. Bro, I haven't played classic guillotine in ages, man. Very, very satisfying champion. I think she's one of the first characters that really made me fall in love with the animations in this game. It's just that massive sword, man. But there we go, that adaptoid goes down. So, providing you've got a solid grasp on parrying and evading, like this epic room, there's not really anything that's kind of like epic difficulty, I would say. At least from what I can see so far. Because, when I think of epic, man, I think of like uncollected nodes and borderline Act 6 stuff, or early Act 6 stuff. Whereas this is like doing kind of mid-Act 2 stuff with 2-star champions, which for most players, again, is going to be incredibly straightforward to do. But there we go, nice little nuke down on the Adaptoid. These Adaptoids very, very easy by the look of it. I don't think they have really anything too special going on. Let's go for the next one here. I'm not too sure if you can like if you miss like a day of doing these, whether you can enter multiple rooms and just keep on farming the intel there. I think you might be able to, but I'm not too sure. I was kind of only expecting one path. It looks like they've given you some element of choice there when it does come to the setup to use. As long as you make sure you just quickly do the objective and smash this room out every single day, then you can get that 250 intel every day, and we'll talk about it in a second and show you guys exactly what you can spend that intel on. But looking at the time kind of elapsed so far, we're about to get the boss down. I think Taskmaster probably going to take like a minute or two to kill. But yeah, this is, what is it, like for most players, 6 to 8 minutes out of your day, maybe 10 minutes out of your day. So it's not too bad. It's very, very low effort in comparison to some previous events we had. What was it? Those friggin' missions around Doctor Doom and Mr. Fantastic. Those were a little bit of hassle to do every single day, man, especially across the difficulties. The time on those really added up, but this one, it seems a little bit more straightforward. Then you also get the rifts as well, so that's a bit more to do. But with the rifts, you can, if you want, like save them all up and do them in a massive session. But come on, Colossus, let's go for that special 2. Yeah, Colossus, dude, Colossus is actually a fantastic 2-star champion to max out, just as a bit of a pro tip. He's really, really good. If you haven't done 100% variant 4, there's like a 2-star only bit to it, and Colossus has the utility to cover a lot of the more difficult paths in there. So really, really good 2-star champion to max out. But again, you run through this, and yeah, just for doing the completion, 250 intel. So again, it doesn't really necessarily matter which one you decide to go for. It looks like we can't even go back in to see if it has reset or not. But again, you get the intel, and then what you do with the intel is you go to the intel store and you can buy various tiers of rifts. Now, these rifts are going to be a little bit more tricky, I would assume. Is there a Cavalier, or is that uncollected in relation to the progression point? I'm just trying to think the badge. I think that's uncollected or above for the tier 4 one. But basically, the tier 4 rifts by far have the best rewards. You do not, you know, if you're kind of at that uncollected or above level, you don't want to go for the tier 1, you don't want to go for the tier 2 or tier 3, you want to go for the tier 4. The tier 4 ones have the very spicy rewards, and we did a full breakdown on that. There's all sorts of stuff like 5-star shards, 5-star awakening gems, like 6-star shards as well. There's 5-star featured crystal, loads of tier 5 basic, loads of tier 2 alpha. So you have the option, if you want to go for 18 random tier 4 rifts. So that's a really, really good chunk of stuff. However, there are these bundles available as well. So there's the tier 4 chronometer bundle up here in the top right hand corner, and essentially this is paying 3,000 intel for one entry, and also this additional item which I believe allows you to select your reward when it does come to entering one of these rifts. So the best plan, if you're looking for a specific 5-star awakening gem, maybe there's a character you've really, really wanted for a while, is to get this as soon as you possibly can. This needs to be your first purchase ideally, so that when that gem does come up, then you can use the additional item here to select exactly what reward you want, so you can get that specific awakening gem. So the only reason, at least in my opinion, with the drop rates to go for this is if you need a 5-star awakening gem of a particular class. And again, you do want to make sure that this is your first purchase, so when that gem appears, you can use this item to select the gem that you need. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a wait, a little bit of a save up in comparison, but you will be able to get this in, I think, 12 days, and then literally is after that a tier 4 rift like every 2 days, bro. It is really, really good. So yeah, I'm not exactly too sure what I'm going to go for yet, because remember, with this bundle, you also sacrifice the random rewards of 5 rifts as well, and that's a pretty big sacrifice when it does come to like the amount of 5-star shards potentially available. But yeah, if you're looking for guaranteed value when it comes to like a 5-star awakening gem, featured 5-star crystal, or 10,000 shards, that is a decent one to go for. However, we will do a video tomorrow going into the very first tier 4 rift and kind of checking that out and seeing what rewards we get. So yeah, I'm excited for that, man. Hopefully that should be a pretty good time. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is essentially the event. If you're looking for a little bit more information on the rewards, I will put a link in the description of this video to the full breakdown that we did a few days ago with all the drop rates and everything. So if you want a bit more detail on exactly what you can get from some of these tier 4 rifts, a full explanation will be available. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward, man. You go for the objectives, you go into the red room, you get the intel, and then you use that to buy these essentially rift keys, open those up, and then you can get some pretty sweet rewards. And it's crazy the amount of tier 4 rifts that you can actually get, man. Like, even like worst case scenario, if you do it every single day, it's like 1 guaranteed rift and 12 random ones, or you can go for the full 18 ones if you just want to gamble as well. But you know, it depends what you're after, man. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed today's breakdown video, and if you did, if you could do me a massive favor and smash that like button, that'd be greatly appreciated. But aside from that, thank you very much for watching, take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.